Here we are, doing some 350 stuff, I think. I'm going to position the camera here. That's close enough. We don't need that in the way. Okay. I'll look you up here. See what's cooking here. That way I can see you guys. 10 people here already. Okay. Jesse, your saw is shipped out. Brandon's here. Dan's here. Custom Cutter's here. Ken's here. So check this out. I cleaned up the case a little bit. It's not fully clean, but close enough for what I'm doing. Ron Peace is here. You know, if we're going to do a rebuild, we might as well do a rebuild, right? There we go. So that's got to get cleaned up. So let's see. No rain down there, Tim? Come on. You know what? That oil pump is still working. So I'm not going to touch it, actually. I'm just going to clean this and put that back on, I think. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just literally just going to put the cover back on, but certainly you can pull the oil pump off, but it sure looks like it's still working, so I'm not even going to go in there and mess around with it. Things are going downhill around here rapidly. It's getting to be a mess. Few nips of Jack. Why stop at a few? What did I clean the case with? I mainly with purple degreaser that is in a spray bottle and just warm water. It's actually diluted purple degreaser, the Zip purple, whatever it is. And because it's plastic and it's not going to really affect it too much. Yeah, just warm water and a brush. If you're really adventurous, you can stick the whole thing probably in the dishwasher. Careful, obviously. So let's see. What model? Sorry, this is a Husky 350. Yeah, this is it's a Husky 350 case, but the 340 case is the same. It is an adjustable oiler. It's the same oiler that's in the 455 Ranchers. I'm pretty sure it's the same oiler in the 359, 357 too. So, what I wanted to do tonight was, well, I've got a HL supply box here, which is like a couple days earlier. I wasn't going to go live. I wasn't going to do this tonight, but this is a couple days early, so I'm like, hey, this is cool. I got a HL supply box here, goodies. Yeah, so I need a box for 288 stuff because I have a 288 coming, so I'm gonna. I can look at this. Let's see. This is a Highway 288 handle. I think that's gonna be fine. This is what we got to play with tonight. What's this? 288 muffler. I got another 288 muffler here that's aftermarket, and the last one that I did not have good luck with. We'll check on this and see if it's all right. Who knows? Terry, my favorite subject. Hang on. So let me go back here. So Ron, Larry, how's it going? Terry, Pentecost. Welcome everybody. Got to work tomorrow. Okay, Jesse. By Tony Beats at Gold Rush. What is the temperature in Arizona? Ed Bartlett. Hello, Matt. Love your work. You taught me a lot. My list project installed 346 fan 350. My question is, can I delete base gasket? Actually, Ed, we're going to go over that tonight, okay? Ed Bartlett, we're going to go over that tonight. Welcome. Edwin Grin. Edwin, you made it early this time. All right, that goes in there. I got a Meteor 288 piston. Play with that some other time. Starter, pulley, and all that stuff, which we don't need. And just for the hell of it, I got a 288 decal. And this is the piston pin bearings I throw right out, just right in the garbage. I use OEM ones. OEM. Jeez, I thought I bought them. Yes, this is an OEM fuel line. For 288. Muffler bracket for 288. HL Supply business card. Okay. And an OEM 288 gasket kit. So, all that stuff goes goodbye-bye for the moment. Because we're not playing with the 288 yet, because I don't have it. But what I do have, all right, so a Warhawk replacement parts, whatever the heck this is. So this is probably a rebadged head, but I don't know where from. This is supposed to be quad port. And basically a 346 XP clone cylinder head, and it was pretty cheap. So the way that I look at cylinder heads is aftermarket heads. I expect to port all of them. I really do. I expect them to basically not be runnable without some work. Circlips. 2 different styles of circlip. Well, that's interesting. They don't give me a pin bearing here. The devil's that mark on there? It's like one of those pistons you could just go in and with a grinder and lighten the thing up a little bit. FD. Is it ED? That's a whole other problem. Okay. Here's these are basically impossible to get circlips out of. So I've seen Doc Al go in and grind a spot where you can actually put your pliers. So that would probably be a good thing to do. All right, let's look at the head here. Actually, the bevels don't look too bad. Definitely doesn't look shiny in here. Is that grease or something? It's a silvery colored plating. Probably chrome plated bore instead of the highway stuff is more yellow looking. It looks goldish. But it indeed is quad port. So this is a actual clone of a 346 XP. The highway version is actually 45 millimeter. This is 44.3 supposedly. Jesse, why not use what Buck and Billy Ray uses? If you want a nice light bar like a Oregon Power the Power Match reduced weight bars, 32 inch. If you look over at I just saw Jack Small Engines today has one for $154. Baldomero Augustin, how's it going? Welcome. So let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I can zoom in on this appropriately so you guys could look at it. The detail here is significant. This actually is probably a cylinder you could run. I'm not going to run it, but you could possibly run this. There's pebbliness and whatnot in the ports here. You know, you got to go in there and hog that out just to better flow and whatnot. This, like the OEM, has a lip. And a significant pocket. So at the top of, I've never seen this. I don't think I've ever seen this. At the top of the head, right at the squish band, again, I don't know if you can see it, but you know, instead of going in 90 degrees, it falls in. This is definitely one I'd like to take some sandpaper to. Sand this out a bit, I think. Overall, I think the shape of the ports is pretty good. You know, the exhaust port could be widened a bit. I don't know how even that is. You have to check with the ring. These ports are just small, you know. Be nice to open those up a bit. So, Jesse, just get a regular old Power Match. I mean, I think you can find a 42-inch power match on eBay for under $100. There's a bump over in here on the intake. Right there, there's a bump. So, needs some grinding, but this actually isn't too bad. Just so everybody knows, this is not paid product endorsement. I bought this myself, my own money. So, this is completely an independent review. I just wanted to look at this just to see how it compared to some of the other cylinder heads that I've seen over the years. But I think that silly plating lip up there needs to be either the squish band needs to be taken off or with a boring bar or sanded. I will probably sand these. Larry, you can always call Nate from Performance Outdoor. He's in Newcomerstown, Ohio. You can tell him I sent you, Jesse. Adirondacks don't ask. I don't know. These just show up. Of course, now I need to find a pin bearing. All right, so stop screwing around. Let's check squish, see where we're at. Snelling pop-up clone, you can use the OEM. Yeah, you can use the OEM head, whatever. Finger ports. Wow. No, I don't think we're doing finger ports on this. That sounds a little too serious to me. Okay, so that sits in there fine. Could do a pop-up on this, though. Should check and see where squish is. And then we'll see when we get there. Doesn't really want to go down. And it'll cinch up. So this is just a test fit. Everybody keep in mind this is just a test fit. Matt, you still using the 90-degree head? Yes. Did I find a more durable head? No. I just basically figure that in the price of everything because it's like $13 a head or something like that. I don't know. So on this, I might use up a couple of heads, so it cost me $26 to do the port, just to do the port work, which might be stupid to some people, but I also don't have to pay hundreds, literally $1,000 for a CC specialty setup or whatever. Maybe one day I will, but that day I don't think is today. It's a little more dirty than I'd like. Better. Not exactly a tight-fitting wrist pin, which is really overall not the best. $350 base gaskets. I'm not even sure if I have one. So let's fit it without. Why is that tight? There, okay. So to answer somebody's question, this is without a base gasket right now. I just want to see what the squish is going to be. And these head bolts are definitely too long. So this is these head bolts are way too long. See that? Not good. You'll strip out the base. So let's measure these and see what size bolts I do need. So these are 25 millimeters, so you want 20s, possibly even slightly shorter than 20s. this is a 20. Okay, it goes down there, and then you can measure 5.28 millimeters, and then you can measure the thickness of your base here, 7 millimeters. So 7 millimeters, 7 millimeters, 7 millimeters, 7 millimeters. So you can measure the base and obviously see. Well, obviously this is not going to be your average 350. Am I really a dentist? Yes. Is this my dad's saw? No. This was a carcass that I had sitting out in the shed, and I almost have enough parts to build it up, I think. So, just going to slowly do what I can, you know? So let's see if this will cinch this down, and then we can potentially get a squish number. Yeah, this is a 346 clone top end. This actually is a Warhawk cylinder, so, you know, whatever. This is a Chinese top end, but apparently it's a pretty good clone as far as I can see. I expect to port all these. Anything aftermarket, I do not expect it will run right off the bat. So people expect to buy heads and have them run right off the bat. I disagree with that. I think your expectations are wrong, you know? Well, it looks like it goes down. Let's see if we have a head slapper. Nope, no head slapper. It's really tight, but there's no head slapper. Yeah, I don't know if we can attribute Warhawk to the Chinese. Jesse, most dentists actually tend to have really odd hobbies. Just so you do know. Obviously, I'm not the exception. I am the rule in that sense. But most dentists tend to have fairly eccentric hobbies. Good with the drip. Yeah, I have practice on a fairly routine basis. eccentric hobbies. They're odd people. Dentists are odd people in general. Okay, no base gasket. 25, 31. So no base gasket, 31 thousandths. That's the squish. Figure another 5 thousandths if I sand it. So I essentially have to take off probably about 35 thousandths off the base in order for it to be tight, you know. And then I can take off more than that if I want to do a pop-up. Aha, that may not be completely accurate either. Is that sitting down? Those two, not that one. 1, 2, not 3. So certain things can get in the way, and the 350 is no exception. Let me pull this off so you guys can see. So what can get in the way of the head are these ribs. So you got to grind back the ribs in order to get a super good squish measurement. So since I was doing it on this side, I think it's probably pretty close. If this was like a few thousandths off over there, it's probably not going to matter at all. But ideally you want to shave that off. And okay, let me mark them. These ribs, I mean, they're fairly irrelevant. I'll do all three, why not? Right around there is good. Get shaved off, so. They're strengthening ribs, but it's not necessarily a spot that you necessarily need to strengthen, so whatever. John Connors Chinese brand, yes. Pop up, I know. Yeah, you have to cut. Remember, like on all this stuff, you have to check clearances on things because when you start screwing around, you know, this chassis was not built for a 346 head. That was not good. This chassis was not built for a 346 head. So the 346 heads have these bumps, you know, that are significant here. So you have to account. Yeah, what the heck happened? All right, we're back. So you can grind on it, or you can actually literally clip it. Less likely to get stuff in the head if you do it this way. We're good, James. Are we good? I think we're good. Whatever. So let's see if we can go back here and maybe get a little bit more of an accurate measurement. Can I grind the cylinder? But yeah, you can. You can certainly grind on the side, assuming you have the thickness. I would guess at this point that you can. But it's a guess. You know? So the other clearance issue, and that's what we're talking about, it really is clearance issues, is the flywheel. If you're dropping this, you're going to drop it right into the flywheel. So you got to be careful about that and make sure the flywheel clears. And usually I do grind on the side if that's the case. So now do we have enough clearance on the case? It's still tight. I think we have the clearance now, but it's still tight. When I take everything apart, I'll grind a little bit more. You can see how tight it is right there. So you need to ideally give a little bit more room. Don't want it touching. But let's see if we can redo the squish here. Why do a 346 cylinder? Because it's better. Basically, it's the best head that will reasonably fit this chassis. And I say reasonably fit this chassis because there are other guys that have fit 359 cylinders on this chassis, but it takes an enormous amount of modification. Still the same. 31 thousandths is the squish with no base gasket. Just want to see. We'll check it on the other side and make sure it's not any tighter over here. No, not any tighter over there. So 31 thousandths is a pretty good measurement as far as squish goes. The same crankshaft fits the 359. No, it does not. That's why it takes a significant amount of modification to put a 359 head on here. But you can use the 359 intake setup here, which is a nice upgrade. The carb bolts right on. Is the saw going to be for sale? Maybe. I don't know. I don't need it. Just building it up kind of for the hell of it. So I'm going to write on here minus 31, just so I know. And if we want to do a pop-up, well, let's see, minus 31. So add a base gasket. The base gasket is 20 thousandths. So I have to take 31 thousandths off here to come up with a 20 thousand squish, right? So take 31 thousandths off. If I want to do a 40 thousandths pop-up, now you're talking about 71 thousandths to take off. Maybe, go to 70, 75 and see if you can sand off that lip, and then you're back to 20. Yeah. So we'll see where this ends up. But now that I have my measurement, I can take these parts back to the Bridgeport at my folks and do some machining. Yeah, you need the air filter set up. Now, it's not a direct bolt on. I keep losing bolts. It's not a direct bolt on, but it's pretty close. So now I can machine a pop-up there. Once we set the squish, then we can start playing with timing numbers, You can check it now, but I don't see the point. What did anybody else want to go over tonight? Anything? I can sand the base flatter, but based on how uneven the plastic is in the beginning, I'm not so sure it makes that much of a difference. I'm not saying no, I'm just saying know exactly how much of it, especially because I'm getting 1184 on it. I'm just not sure. You get what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. Okay. So this can go down here somewhere. Now this melamine here is actually fairly flat, so ideally you want a granite surface plate, but I do not have a granite surface plate. This is some 220 grit. Let's see how this does. Pretty flat. I'm really not worried. I think this is actually an aftermarket base anyway, but whatever. James, can I get it? James, you say anything you like, buddy? Very tight at the top. Yes, Ed, the top cover rubs a bit. So what happens is, and this is really important. What happens here somewhere, your throttle will actually rub and it'll catch open. So you're gonna have to grind the case here, or modify the throttle in some way. Just look out for that. The whole throttle shaft will actually rub right in here, especially because you're pressing down. Also, if you're putting the 359 intake stuff in, you're going to need to grind this away right here. With the razor blade, there's no daylight. That's darn good, if you ask me. Yeah, this might actually be an aftermarket part. I don't think this is a Husky part. And we're going to modify this more, too. Do a bolt-for-bolt 350 build. Just a Poulan, color orange. Custom cutter, it is really hard to do. The guy that did it did quite the job. I mean, he's a significant amount of machining and guys that are better than me. I mean, as far as machinists, so it takes a lot of doing. You have to make a custom bearing cap and a whole bunch. I mean, it's kind of nuts. Hot Rod, welcome. Using the Zama 359 carb. That's the EL42. Are there the bearing OD stiffeners to deal with? Ken, I don't know what you're talking about. not crank stuffers. There's no crank stuffers on this. That looks like the Conrad bearing seashells. Still don't know what you're talking about, Ken. Yeah, over the seal. Yeah, the seals. Hang on. It's the same seal setup that you have in that like 141 or whatever you're dealing with. Yeah. The seals go over the bearings. Yeah, the whole thing is clamshelled, yes. But this is a unique clamshell because this is modifiable. James, I'm just pulling for you, buddy. I really hope you feel better and get better. I mean, you went in for something small and you're coming out with something big, and that's not good, you know. So my prayers and hopes and thoughts and everything are with you. Two pieces that are stiffeners over the seal rubber. This is all one piece, Ken. The seal is all one piece, goes over the bearing. That's it. There's no other pieces in here. Just so everyone knows, Ken's cuckoo, so don't listen to him. I'm just kidding. I don't know. This is not a separate piece. This whole rubber piece, everything is all one piece. This here being is a separate piece on yours, maybe? I don't know. Thanks, Custom Cutter. I think James can use all the help he can get. The 340s are have the clamshell included, I think. But I right, because they don't have a base block. Oh, I know what you're talking about. They're the little metal things that go in here. No. You don't need those on here. There was a metal thingy. Yeah, there's some metal thingy I think that goes in there. These don't have that. And so now I can take this to the folks and get that machining done. Pretty straightforward. See, I'm not crazy. Yeah, but you're working with something that's, to me, is esoteric, you know? I'm trying to make it not esoteric, that we bring you in the world of Matty-O chainsaws, you know? Metal thingy is the technical word. Yes, for sure. Well, a little crazy. Yeah, just the way it is. So it's after 9 o'clock. I gotta go before I get yelled at by the wife. And you all know the likelihood of that. So, yeah. Time for me to call it a night. Was there anything else that we wanted to go over? Anything else that you guys wanted to go over tonight? Take care, Edwin. Saw got sent out today, so that's cool. Yep, thoughts and prayers with James. He's not out of the woods yet, and he never expected to be in the woods in the first place. And what else? Custom Cutter, I don't think you're gonna find that video. There's some photos. Homelight 410 is the guy that did it. There's some photos, but it is a very, very, very significant modification. I haven't heard from Eric. Right, tools update and all that stuff. Tools this weekend. I think I'm probably gonna effectively sell out again. I have 8 large sleeves. I have 6 so far commitments, monetary commitments. So I literally have 2 pre-order slots left, and I've talked to a couple of guys, and I think those are going to be gone in the next day or two, possibly by this evening. So there is that. I have not talked to Eric Briggs, but I assume that that's coming along fairly nicely, and I know that he's got a quote for me. I just have not had time to talk to him, and I have to get up early tomorrow and do the work thing all day tomorrow. So Friday I have off, and hopefully we can start making a little headway on that sort of thing. I got to start communicating with him. And Brandon, I'll be live. I don't know if tomorrow night, maybe not, possibly not. I'm going to be cooked tomorrow. Tomorrow's the end of my week, effectively. So I don't know whether I'll be live or not tomorrow night, but I will hopefully be Friday in some fashion. I'd love to know when I'm getting that 288. Kind of looking forward to the 288. Kansas Esoteric small engine. Sounds good to me. 20 millimeter base bolts. Yes, Ed. That should do it. Friday off for Ken too. All that does give you more time to work on small engines. Anyway, I gotta run, and everybody have a great night. Thanks so much for hanging out. Do appreciate it. And we're gonna do this 350 build nice and slow, and have a good time. Okay. Have a good one night, everybody. Have a great night. Be safe, everybody. Going spec fishing in the AM. Crappy for the rest of you. Okay. Night, James, Brandon, Custom Cutter, Ken, Ed, Tim. Have a great night. Tim, stay dry, okay?